back, and Sharron's back, and you are listening to the Smoke and Mirrors Radio Hour. We're on every Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 on the West Coast, 9 to 10 on the East Coast. And I want to remind everybody that our new film, Infinity, is coming out Thanksgiving. And it's received a lot of good reviews. A lot of people have seen it, and they really like it. And it's about life after death, and it's with all sorts of great people. Go to sacredmysteries.com. You can check that out. We have a really good trilogy Qigong series called The Alchemy of Qigong with Pedram Shojai. That's coming out as really a great series. I encourage everybody to do something like Qigong or Tai Chi or yoga every day, and your life will be better for it. Trust me. Just get your mind into the pattern of it is really useful. I don't know if Greg stayed on or not.
He did.
He did. I can hear him. Okay. So, Greg, you got anything to say or add, or you want to know, or?
Yeah, to stick with the topic of the program, and with your example of the bread, I think societies, when they first started out, were kind of more oral tradition, and they all had cultural initiatory activities for both males and females, and those were passed on primarily by that oral tradition. And I think the big disruption that really hasn't been mentioned is now we've got a written tradition that's passed on by our schools, colleges, universities, et cetera, and who knows who controls that. I mean, it's not the culture that controls it anymore. It's basically the powers behind the scene, as it were, and I think that's probably another of the little tangents that's throwing our whole society in a direction that I don't think any of us are comfortable with.
Well, I think it's a collision course, and we're headed towards I don't know. I mean, when I look at the end, I can see this thing just running into a complete nightmare with there's just all this loose energy with really just filled with vile hatred and everything. So it's like every man against every man almost at the end of time or something. And I'm really worried about it. And I think we got to get a grip on this thing and find a way past it. You know, transcendence is like, you know, likened to the difference between, you know, boiling water and steam. And right now, our society is in the boiling water stage, and it's furiously boiling, and it's as hot as it can get. And I think that we're going to turn into steam somehow. I think we have to find some way to transcend the current predicament, and we have to do it quick, because I think we're heading towards a position where soon it's going to be musical chairs, and wherever you are when the music stops is where you're going to end up. But let's get back to male initiation. Thanks, Greg. Got anything more you want to add?
Well, no, I'll let the program go. I'll probably call in again. And
hey, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Well, in the traditional societies, there was a realm that was of initiation that was completely taken by the women. At least my experience and knowledge from living in India and working with my teacher there. And that has to do with the realm of sexuality, which has become completely distorted these days in the West, particularly. And what we're finding is that the women who were the great initiators into the sexual mysteries for the men are now so confused that they are using sexuality instead of as a way to bring men into their hearts, so that's a level of initiation. They are using sexuality to manipulate and control men, women, everybody, and it is extremely disturbing and a complete distortion of what true sexuality is.
Yeah, well, they've just denigrated it down to nothing. And I think this goes back to something that Greg was talking about, which is when we switched from the hunter-gatherer from the Neolithic, or from the Paleolithic to the Neolithic. I think the change in diet is just extreme, and I think that has kind of blown out our adrenals, and the sex drive is is associated with the adrenal glands too, and so I think what's going on is that everything has become distorted by the switch from a vegetable meat diet to a largely grain sugar diet, and that is an easily solved problem. So.
But our senses have been distorted by...
Yeah, so mind control is incredible.
So many things. Think of all the noise we hear. Think of human beings were not, I don't feel, meant to be sitting hours and hours a day in front of a computer, draining their life energy into a computer. They're meant to be alive and in touch with nature and in touch with each other and enjoying life. We don't experience bliss anymore.
No. Well, that's not allowed. You got to work. You got to make money. This is the problem. I think we're going to head towards a return to hunter-gatherer states, whether we like it or not. Actually, that's something that if you take the extended situation, if you take the situation as it sits, and you just use a mental experiment and stretch what is happening out now. And if you're, 50, in your 50s like me, you can look back for a long time and see where things have been. So you can kind of extrapolate into the future. Well, you can see that, there's going to be, this book that's out now, $20 a gallon. This book about where oil prices are headed because of peak oil, and the ramifications that's going to have on the food crops and the fading farmer, the depletion of the topsoils. I think I can see first a kind of crazed fascist dictatorship attempting to take it over, but I think the chaos is going to ensue, and that is going to ensue, is going to be so incredible that we could end up destroying everything really fast and ending up back into a hunter-gatherer place. The few who know how to do it will survive, and the rest, I don't know. So these are the things we have to think about. Do we really want to go down that path, and go through this kind of first Terminator type of world and then fading into just chaos? And these are the things that we're trying to talk about here on this show. So I think male initiation is going to come back, whether we like it or not.
Well, the real problem is a spiritual problem. And that we have been focused so much on the material that we're kind of divorced these days from the inner essence and what we would call we're in the horizontal rather than the linear perspective on reality. So vertical, yes, sorry, vertical.